Good evening and welcome out here to FanFest for Cardinal Channel Live with Kevin Dana. I'm Tim Swartz. It is a perfect day for football. Stanford's about ready to face UCLA.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic game today. Great atmosphere. You see all these people at FanFest right behind us. I just can't wait. It's been almost a month since Stanford's played at home.
Yeah, last time for Stanford here at home, they defeated San Jose State, a pretty easy game. This is going to be a little bit more difficult as Stanford has their first ever game in the Pac-12 at home.
Yeah, their last game was on the road, conference game against Arizona. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a little bit. But I was over at the council meeting yesterday. Running backs coach Mike Sanford said UCLA is the best-looking team in a uniform that Stanford has seen all season thus far. So UCLA, long, athletic bunch, and going to provide somewhat of a challenge today.
Yeah, Rick Neuheisel's crew come here to the farm at 2-2. But last time out for Stanford, they went to Arizona, to Tucson, Arizona Stadium. It's a difficult place to play. Last 5 years, there's been 3 top 10 wins at home for Arizona, and that was really kind of a tricky game.
Yeah, it certainly was, because Arizona is a team that has had a good bit of success recently. Bowl games past couple of years, fallen on hard times as of late, but always when you go down to Tucson, you know that's going to be a tough game.
All right, so last week, Stanford went to Arizona, and here's our look at the game in this week's Game Time.
As the number 6 ranked Stanford Cardinal traveled to Tucson, Arizona, one member of the travel party took a detour. With an eye always on the future, Coach David Shaw used his Friday night to scout the next prep All-American to don the Cardinal in white. Meanwhile in Tucson, Camp Cardinal set up an oasis in the heat, resting up with an evening of focus and tranquility. On Saturday, the calm and control of game day transforms to the electric fury of a night game at Arizona. The Cardinal brought the nation's longest winning streak to Arizona Stadium. Through the years, the Wildcats have made a habit of spoiling title designs in their hostile fortress. Stanford faced adversity in the early going at the Zona Zoo as Warriors fell. Though the offense moved the ball in the first half, several scoring drives finished with field goals.
Williamson from that left hash, or almost there. The hold, the kick is up, and the kick from Williamson is perfect. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick from Williamson is on the way, and his kick is up and good.
But the defense held strong, and Stanford enjoyed a 16-10 advantage at the break.
Stanford shows some pressure. Foles, fake handoff, back to pass. He's going to be dropped. Stanford pressure will sack Nick Foles on 3rd and short. 9:37 to go, first half. Foles in the pocket, pressured. He's going to be sacked as he tries to throw the ball away.
After halftime, the Stanford defense showed their muscle. The Card brought the heat and pitched a second-half shutout of the Wildcats.
Snap to Foles in the shotgun. Being pressured, looking. He's got nowhere to go, and he's hit. He's going to go down.
For the 3rd time in as many games this fall, Stanford's opponent posted no more than 2 scores. Meanwhile, the Stanford offense imposed their will physically.
On 3rd and short, he's going to fake the handoff. Back to pass, wide open, Toilolo at midfield. Left sideline, 40, 35, knocked out of bounds.
Pounding the ball behind a stalwart offensive line, Stephon Taylor set a career mark in rushing yards, while Andrew Luck once again dialed up his playmaking tight ends for 2 key scores.
Luck takes a snap, sprints right, pressure coming. He throws on the move, and it's caught. Taylor now open over the middle. Toilolo with the catch at the 10. He's into the end zone. Touchdown.
Most importantly, the second half scores were all touchdowns. The Cardinal extended their nation-best winning streak to 11 games with a 37-10 victory, including 21 unanswered points in the second half. At the end of an arduous road campaign won by toughness and determination, the general addressed his troops.
Can we play for 60 minutes? Can we play Cardinal football for 60 minutes? Hell yeah!
So that was this week's version of Game Time. Anytime you want to see it, go to youtube.com/Stanford Athletics or like us on the Cardinal channel. Search for us on Facebook. And Kevin, it wasn't really an easy win for Stanford. The third quarter, most of the quarter was a one-possession game, but in the end, Stanford really dominated the second half.
Yeah, certainly, and it was great to see Stanford come out in that second half after having all the injury trouble that they did, and especially with Shane Scove going out for the season in that first half. Very tough injury for Stanford to deal with, but you gotta like the resiliency of this team to be able to come back and have such a strong showing in those final 30 minutes.
Yeah, Kobe Fleener left that game in the first half with a concussion. As you mentioned, Shane Scove, a right knee injury. Unfortunately, Shane will be out for the year. We wish him the best. And really, overall, though, as we kind of transition a little bit into UCLA, it should be a difficult game at home because you mentioned UCLA, of any team Stanford's played this year, probably matches up with them athletically, size-wise, the best.
Yeah, certainly, and they got 4 running backs who can really run the ball at around 4.5 yards per carry or better, and obviously Jonathan Franklin going to be the one leading that way. 1,100 rushing yards plus last year, 10th all-time in UCLA history. This year already 300 rushing yards and averaging more than 5 yards per carry.
Should be interesting, Kevin. So there are a lot of great traditions here at Stanford. One of the most interesting ones is the walk. We'll take a look at what Stanford does 2 hours before every home game.
The walk is one of Stanford football's most honored traditions, a time for focus and preparation for athletes, an opportunity for fans to get close and to cheer on their heroes, and one last moment for the Stanford band and cheer to drive home school spirit before battle.
It's the first moment that I think that everybody's heart really starts thumping. The excitement really strikes you that kickoff is coming and a Stanford football game is here.
Some say the walk dates back to the early 1950s, when the football locker room was located at Encina Gym. The players would walk to the stadium after dressing for the game, and eventually, fans took notice. The walk evolved into a parade where fans could see their favorite players, the Leland Stanford Junior University Marching Band, and cheerleaders march toward the stadium.
And I'm looking for my family because my family comes to all the games, so I see them on the walk, so that's always fun to see them. I give my mom a kiss and then give some high fives to my brothers and then just keep on going with my mind on the game.
How loud that crowd is, the intensity, the volume of that celebration as they go into the stadium it's the tip of the iceberg of what they know they're about to have for 3 hours inside the stadium.
In 1983, in preparation for the 1985 Super Bowl, new locker rooms were added at the stadium, and it appeared that the walk might come to an end. But as the 1984 season began, fans continued to arrive early to cheer on their team, and the tradition of the walk continued to thrive.
It really is unique to Stanford. It's always a picturesque scene, going through all the tailgates, and really at the end is really neat. The coaches' wives all tailgate in the same area toward the stadium. We get a chance to see our families before we go in and get ready to go to battle. So it's an emotional time. It's an exciting time, and you know what's about to happen.
My favorite part about the walk is the band playing when we get around in a circle. I think it's right when we get on, like right before the main walkway, we all get in a circle and all the seniors talk, and then the band's playing in the background, and that's pretty inspiring.
It really is a spectacle of college football. Get there 2.5 hours before, 3 hours before, get there 6 hours before, set up your tailgate, and get over to the Chuck Taylor Grove area or by the stadium and witness it, because it really is one of the great moments in college football.
We're back here at FanFest with our tailgate reporter, Mari Inoue. Mari, you're out there today. How was the tailgate out there?
Oh, it was fantastic. Everybody just seems like they're having a great time. A lot of alums, Stanford alums, and they're cooking up a lot of great stuff.
Now, there's a lot of great stuff you mentioned, a lot of different food. Did you have a favorite dish out there today?
Oh, definitely the steak tri-tip sandwich.
Favorite spot to tailgate around the farm?
Probably have to be right there out in front of behind El Camino.
All right, we've seen Mari all around campus. If you want to see, go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/Stanford Athletics. You've done a bunch of pieces for us. You have a favorite one up on the website?
The Chowdermobile was pretty fun.
Exactly. All right, so it's the first game of the year for the 2015 class, but for the 2014 class, this is their first time coming back to the farm to see Stanford football, and they put this little piece together.
This
is our year. This is our time.
Our time. This is our team.
This is our chance
to prove ourselves.
This is our chance.
This is our chance to do more than we've done before.
This is our opportunity.
This is our school.
This is our university.
This is 14.
We're back on set here with Drew Vameen, one of the few class presidents, the class of 2014. You just saw the video. Drew, introduce yourself and the people behind you.
Well, hi everyone watching the Cardinal channel. This is a few members of the class of 2014, the greatest class at Stanford. Definitely true. And I'm just going to go ahead and introduce them really quickly. Some cabinet members: Daniel Lupin, Chase Disher, Malika, my co-president Shane, my co-president Poonsuk, my co-president Mary, and Kylie.
Right on. Well, talk a little bit about the process of making this video. You being a class president, being the leader of all this. So what was that decision process like in trying to decide how to best represent the sophomore class?
Well, we have a pretty representative cabinet, and we called on them to appear in the video. I'd say the hardest part of the video was trying to keep a straight face. We probably only succeeded about 80% of the time, which is a B, but it's okay. We'll do better in the future.
Now, Drew, you're a sophomore. Your freshman year was a very magical year for the Stanford football team, obviously going to the Orange Bowl, 12-1 record and all. Could you pick out a memory or two that stuck out above the rest as far as Stanford football goes in your freshman year?
Yeah, the memory I'll never forget about Stanford football is being in the stadium and watching Andrew Luck, the quarterback, destroy Sharice White at the USC game. It was literally the defining moment of Stanford football last year.
All right, final question, Drew. It's a full house tonight, sold out here at Stanford Stadium. Red Zone tickets were gobbled up in a matter of hours. You guys are going to be sitting in the red zone, or standing, should I say. Tell us a little bit what that environment's going to be like tonight.
The red zone's going to be crazy. Just talking to students before the game, we're so pumped that our football team is at this place and ready to support the Cardinal. So keep a look on the red zone. It's going to be amazing.
All right, Drew, thanks for your time. Any final shout-outs for you?
Shout out to my mom and dad and their moms and dads. This is awesome. That's it. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you for being on set with us, Drew, and go enjoy the game.
Thanks so much.
All right, the Cardinal Channel's Alyssa Green learned what it's like to be part of the game management crew here at the farm. Take a look at her experiences with the bunch that gets everything set up for each and every home event on this week's edition of The Adventures of Alyssa.
That doesn't sound that hard. Hey Stanford fans, I'm Alyssa with the Cardinal Channel, and I'm here with Josh from Game Management. So could you tell me a little bit about your job?
Yeah, so we pretty much are anywhere from before scenes. We set up barricades, we set up red flagging, we do a lot of tables, chairs, parking lot setups, pretty much anything that goes into getting the game ready to go.
That doesn't sound that hard.
It's pretty hard.
All right, so there was our adventures with Alyssa, and that was really interesting to see the game management crew. We see them around campus all the time. They do a great job.
Yeah, certainly, and it's kind of hard to recognize and appreciate the work that they do when you don't. When you just come to the game, you see everything set up. You don't know all the hours that went into setting everything up.
All right, so one of the very special features we'll have here on the Cardinal Channel coming at you is a little Bud Anderson piece. It's called 19 Hours, and we'll take you behind the scenes look with the field hockey team.
Today we're filming the 19 Hours project, where we have 19 hours to basically come up with an idea and film a promotional video for one of the Stanford teams. We're Stanford Field Hockey and we're the first team doing it.
We're definitely going to be showcasing all our really cool tricks that we've been practicing on the season and showcasing like different parts of campus.
The team has been practicing weeks in, weeks out, all over summer. They've been practicing their skills, so we're ready.
This is
Hold on.
the 10 meter.
Okay, let's move on. Next location.
I went off the high dive, I messed up a skill and the ball fell off, so I guess I had to jump off and get it. The scariest part was being mid-air for too long. It was a little nerve-wracking, I couldn't show any fear, but it was fine, it was good.
We're here at Hoover Tower right now and just doing some tricks. So this is Courtney and Cope, and you'll be seeing them do the hover Hoover trick. Elise and Anna were trying to do a trick where they had to use their body, so that it was really hard for them because the ball was wet and so it would slide off easily, but I thought they did a pretty good job. If you can learn to play in any circumstance, you're going to become a better team.
Tell me about that trick and why is it hard to do?
It's really hard to do because you hit yourself in the head if you don't place the ball right.
Like these guys are. That you can.
Well, you know, I think it was pretty clear that we took it to them.
Yeah! What? Come on, bring it! What? What do you got on me? What? Huh?
Our team's all about speed, and so, you know, we kept our feet moving. They played, I think, very static game.
I just think they were blown away by the
skill that we had.
Ready, 1, 2, 3, go!
We can do a wide shot, and then every time they touch sticks, I'll have them freeze. I'll come in, I'll do a sweep around.
Stop. Okay, so go ahead.
Hi, I'm Becky Drew with Stanford Women's Field Hockey.
And I'm Seth Byrne.
This is 19 hours.
And we're back on set here with Becky Drew from Buckinghamshire, England, and Stephanie Byrne from the 408, San Jose, California. And Becky, first question goes to you. Taking a look at you jump off the high dive. First, was that your first time off the high dive, and did you kind of know what you were getting yourself into? What was going through your mind there?
Well, it was my first time, but it's sort of on my Stanford bucket list, so I can tick that one off the checklist. And it was pretty nerve-wracking, but with a little time frame of being videoed, I kind of couldn't think about it and just went for it.
And since you two are captains on the team, were you the brainchildren of this video, or how did the decision-making process go about for this?
Well, last year I think we started brainstorming about ways to promote our team more, and just this idea kind of popped into our heads of going around campus doing tricks, and then with Bud's 19-hour video project, it was just a perfect way to make it happen. So.
All right, let's talk a little field hockey now. With your win over Robert Morris last night, 9-1 overall, number 6 team in the country, 8-game winning streak. That ranking is tied for best in program history, and the winning streak second best in program history. What's it like to be part of a special time in field hockey here at Stanford?
Well, I think it's been a long time coming. The last sort of 5 years, really, we've been up and coming, and it's just a matter of time before we're recognized in the national scene. And the fact that our winning streak is adding up is just a testament to the way we play. We just play every moment as it counts and hope that the result takes care of itself, and it has done so far.
All right, and let's talk about your match last weekend here against Cal. They were a top 15 team when you played them. Knocked them off 3-2 at the varsity turf, and a lot of fans there. Great student support showing up for that game against Cal. What was it like to play in such a great environment, and also then to top that off, knocking off your arch rival?
That was so great. You always have, it was a night game, and those night games are already so exciting underneath the lights. And then with all the fans, I think it was 633 people came out to watch our game, so they had some great cheers on the sideline.
One of the players' mums was a cheerleader before in her heyday, and she was coming up with some interesting chants. So we definitely feed off the energy of the crowd, and then obviously we don't get distracted by other things that might be going on. So we just focused on what we knew how to do. We played, and we came out with the win we knew we could do.
And speaking of parents, Stephanie, was that your folks that are here at FanFest?
Yes, they are. My mom's videotaping right now. She also wears the tree costume during our games.
Oh.
That's a costume that's passed down amongst the parents. So when Steph unfortunately graduates this year, she'll be passing it down to another parent.
Do we know who that next parent's going to be yet?
I think it's yet to be unveiled.
But yeah, it's a secret for now.
All right, now before we let you guys go, you guys have a booth here at FanFest. For those who are watching here at FanFest, where can they find your booth and what can they expect to find there?
You can find us nearest in the corner nearest the bouncy castle and the little ladder trick, and we've just got a goal set up and some cones, and you can just pick it up. If you've never tried it before, you can just try playing field hockey with only one side of the stick, not like ice hockey, so it's a little different.
All right, Stephanie, Becky, thank you guys very much for coming on, and good luck this weekend when you go to the Northeast to take on New Hampshire, top 10 team, and then Harvard.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, there are 26 coaches who are females here at Stanford University. Earlier this week, they caught up with Bud Anderson and Anthony Benars to shoot a video to raise awareness for breast cancer. Take a look at Go Pink, Go Stanford.
What's going to happen? We're going to be asking, we're coming around to you.
We are the coaches of Stanford University. Together we represent 19 varsity teams. All the women and coaches, assistant coaches wanted to show their support for breast cancer awareness. You know, we're very excited that women's volleyball, football, basketball, we have a Think Pink Day, and that it's not just one day, but it's something that should happen all year long. Go Pink, go Stanford.
Cut that part out.
Breast cancer awareness is so important. I've personally been affected, multiple people in my family. Most recently, 3 years ago, I lost my aunt to breast cancer. So we'd love to get the word out, make sure everyone's getting tested. It was emotional for me to see all these great coaches unite for a cause that's bigger than any one of us. Go Pink, go Stanford.
1 in 3 represented the United States national team. I think it's important to promote awareness and education in something that can be prevented. I think just create awareness among our spectators, our fans, and make sure that we're all aware of early detection and getting to our doctors and getting your mammograms and being a part of the cure. Go Pink, go Stanford.
1 in 8 will be affected by breast cancer. I think it's really special. I think that our voices collectively carry a lot of weight, and I think for us to come behind something so important as this, I think can really have a tremendous impact on people. It's easy to forget about something so important, but the more we can get the message out to the community, the better. Anything I can do to help get the word out to women to get in, get tested early, hopefully that will get one woman in there who gets tested early, and maybe she's able to catch something. Go Pink, go Stanford.
Go Pink, go Stanford!
All right, so we're back here at FanFest. It is a gorgeous day, and what a great day for sports, for football. We're here with Carolyn OConnor, who is the head coach for the Stanford women's team, and Andrew over here. Andrew, first of all, before we talk to Carolyn, anything you have to say?
Go Stanford.
There we go. All right, so we saw the Go Pink video. How important was that, for Stanford to give back to the community with something like that?
Well, I think it's really important that we help to raise awareness. I personally have been affected, and
And I'm certainly one that's trying to help get the word out that it's so important to get screened early. And it's easy for us, I think, to get complacent and think, oh, something like this will never hit me. But it does, it hits all of us. And so I think it's really fantastic that we can come together as a group of Stanford coaches and get the message out.
And we mentioned in the video that was put together all those statistics that were put out that were so amazing about Stanford coaches, the national championships, the gold medals, the national team members. How awesome is it to be a part of that group and be able to speak to other coaches who have had so much a great experience at Division I level?
Well, I feel so proud to be a part of the Stanford family. I mean, every day, we were just doing some things the other day and just reminding my team about this is a privilege to be here and to be a part of Stanford and to be there with Tara and Amy and Denise Corlett. I mean, I feel privileged every day, and I feel like every day that I'm going to be getting better as a coach just being around them.
Now for your team, it started out really nice in Washington State with a victory, and we were speaking about off there, it's a little bit different of a season that people are used to. You have your pre-winter break and then post-winter break. Can you explain maybe a little bit to the listeners what your season's like?
Yeah, golf is one of the few sports out there. We're a three-quarter sport, so we typically come in 2 weeks before classes even begin, and we hit the road running. So we've been back since the 10th of September, and we competed that following weekend. So we'll be in competition now through the end of May. Really, the only time that we'll have off and we're not in season is essentially from Thanksgiving through the Christmas break. So we're going hard all year long.
And you talk about all the great coaches here at Stanford, but there's also the great athletes you were mentioning as well. But how great is it every single day you get to wake up from home and drive over to Stanford Golf Course, and the scenery there, and the course itself, and the clubhouse? I mean, what type of experience is it to go there every day?
Yeah, there are a lot of worse things in life that I could be doing. Again, I really believe that I'm very blessed, and typically we're out early and we're on the golf course, and it's really a special place, and I'm lucky to be here and privileged. And I tell you, we've got Sally Watson, our junior that came out with that victory last week, is really impressive for her. She didn't have such a fantastic sophomore year, and so she really come back through the summer and had some confidence. So to see her struggle a little early in her first round at Washington State and then be able to pull through at the end of 54 holes was really just fantastic for her and for our team. And so I think that bodes well for the rest of the season.
That's on your schedule. There are 2 events at Stanford Golf Course. Can you let the viewers know when those will be and how they can come out and watch?
Yeah, folks, we'd love to have you come out. We have our Stanford Intercollegiate hosting 2 weeks from now, October 14th through the 16th at the Stanford Golf Course. We host one of the best events in the country in terms of the competition that comes in from the SEC and the ACC and the Big 12, and so we're hoping. It's been a few years since we've won this tournament here at home, and this will be a great victory for us. And the more support we could have from our fans, the better. So we'd love to have you come out and see us.
And at Stanford Golf Course, all the great people that have played there, all of your great alumni. Can you let us know some of your past athletes, what they're doing outside of the world of golf?
Well, I'll tell you right now, we just announced recently that Vari Mackay, who graduated in 1997, is going to be inducted into the Stanford Hall of Fame. So Vari, who's been out on the LPGA Tour since she graduated in 1998, is still playing on tour. Hillary Holmeyer-Lunke, who was also a 4-time All-American, won the 2003 U.S. Open, has semi-put her golf clubs away. She and her husband and 2 children have retired up to Minnesota, and she's doing some charity golf. Who else? Mickey Wright, who was one of the best female golfers ever played, has actually she's recovering from breast cancer and doing fairly well. So our alums are out there in the community. We have quite a few that are practicing physicians and attorneys and moms and teachers, and really doing some great things out there.
Carolyn OConnor, thanks for joining us. And everybody, make sure to look on our YouTube page for the Go Pink, Go Stanford ad. Thanks so much. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
And thank you, Andrew. There we go. So last night at Maples Pavilion, Stanford was able to defeat Arizona. Here are some of the highlights from that match as the Stanford Cardinal were able to defeat the Arizona State Sun Devils in 3 sets. All right, so you saw the highlights. A victory in 3 sets over Arizona State last night. We're joined by Rachel Williams, sophomore from Archbishop Meade. And Rachel, looked like, kind of looking at the final stats for that match, you hit about 250 as a team, but defensively, you played a great match with all those blocks.
Yeah, we as a team really worked hard this week on defense, and it finally translated onto the court, and it was awesome to see us be able to shut down another team's offense.
I know for you, it's kind of an interesting season because last year you had Cassidy when you had Alex Klein and Gabby Ailes, those seniors. All those seniors are gone, and now as just a sophomore, you kind of had to be the leader as the kill leader. How have you accepted that new role?
It's been a wild ride, but it's been a great preseason so far, and we're really enjoying coming into the conference play. I think everyone's stepping up. We have a lot of sophomores on our team, and so everyone's trying to figure out whose role is which, but I think it's slowly falling into place.
Yeah, some new roles for some new players. Look like Lydia's had a great season. Sam and Carly Wopat have been very good. And Bokather, your new freshman, has been great. Can you talk about some of the new faces for the fans that are coming out to Maples?
Yeah, Morgan's been doing really well on the right side. She's been getting a lot of blocks and kills. She's a natural. And Kyle as well has really stepped up on the defense, taken over serve receive, which has been great because she's a solid player that we don't have to really worry about.
Last couple of years, you've been playing that kind of two-setter offense, but this year it's been all Carissa Cook. She's looked really sharp this season. Looks like her confidence is up. She's playing a lot sharper, as I mentioned. How well has she been passing the ball to you and setting you up?
It's been awesome having Carissa set the 5-1. She's doing awesome in the front row, blocking balls that she's making plays for us that are awesome, and it's really nice to have a setter put the ball in the right spot consistently.
Now you're coming out here to a football game. I'm sure you got some friends on the football team. How fun has it been the last 2 years to watch this team?
This team has been so cool to see progress over the past couple of years. It's awesome to see how many people are out here celebrating Stanford football. I like the energy and the excitement. It's really fun.
Now, Palo Alto, Stanford, kind of in the South Bay, kind of on that edge, but you're from this area.
Yeah.
You know, when you're making your college decision, how important was it to come to a place where your friends, your family can watch your matches?
It's been surprisingly nice to be able to have my parents at every match. I'm really happy I didn't get to go too far away from home, so I can still go home, get a cooked meal, get some laundry done.
Exactly. Save a few dollars.
Yeah.
All right, final question for you, Rachel. People watching online, people here, they want to check your team out. When's the next time you're home?
We are home on Sunday, tomorrow, at 1 o'clock, playing Arizona. It should be a great match. Come out if you have time, and we hope to see you there.
And if you're watching this elsewhere on the country, go to GoStanford.com, sign up for All Access. We'll have that broadcast. Thanks so much, Rachel. Good luck the rest of the season. All right, so earlier this week, there was a special ceremony here at Stanford. We had the last 3 trees, and here is the exciting, the exhilarating tree race. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the tree race.
And they're off. You hear the gunshot. They are running.
As they come through the quad, the band member chasing him. Oh, there he goes down. It's a 2-horse race.
The other 2 look back and say, hey, all the better for us. It is now a 2-person race. And the trees are going to get distracted right here by a couple of wacky band members.
He's not focused on the prize. He needs to keep going.
Horns and, photo op time. They'll chill for a second.
Back to the race. Thanks everybody for joining us in the tree race. We are live here from Stanford University. You know, it's the biggest campus in the entire country, and these trees have to run the entire campus. Let's see if they can keep going.
In the main quad now, Top Hat has the lead, he appears. But hey, look at this. I'm not sure this is even legal. One of the trees decided to take the Marguerite. I thought this was supposed to be on foot. There's last year's tree now. And he'll take a quick break to say hi to a couple of people chilling on the lawn. Catch up with our Top Hat tree. He's going to get a quick drink before he is back off and running.
He wants to play volleyball. All right, let's get him a tryout. John Costi, John Dunning, give this man a tryout.
Now he's caught up with the other 2.
Down the stretch they come.
This thing is starting to thicken as we get closer to the football stadium.
Top Hat tree coming strong.
They are approaching the stadium. The band cheers on. We are just about at the tunnel.
To Foster Field they go. To the finish line. And it is A photo finish. And there was the tree race. Who won? We don't know.
I'm going to say Top Hat Tree.
I like the Top Hat Tree as well. Kevin, we've called some broadcasts here at Stanford. We called synchronized swimming. We're going to call volleyball tomorrow. We just had Rachel on, and you can check that out on Stanford All Access at 1 p.m. But that was my first tree race.
Yeah, that was my first tree race too. A different kind of calling the action. Haven't done any kind of race before, but when it comes to trees running around campus, certainly something different.
You'll see the tree at almost every sporting event here at Stanford.
Yeah, certainly. And the tree, of course, is the mascot for the band. The band was in action at Cal when Stanford women's volleyball traveled to Berkeley to take on Cal in a battle of number 2 versus number 1. Our crew got it on tape, and take a look at what they captured.
Hey, what's up? I'm Ditto. I'm the manager of the Stanford Band. We're here at Cal at Haas Pavilion. We were out for a battle with Cal outside. We were out there for about an hour. As far as we're concerned, we won because they played their fight song, a short version of it. So we played ours and left, and then they played some more, and then played a full version of their fight song, and that's
cheating.
Cheating. Pretty much.
It's kind of cheating.
But it was a great battle. We had a good time with them.
Just a minute ago at the Battle of the Bands, I broke my drum. But it's okay because the band won, and that's all I really care about.
It's always fun to see Cal. They're kind of like our, kid brother in terms of rocking out. And we try and educate them a little bit. We had a great time here. And go Cardinal.
All right, so we saw that was a great match between Stanford and Cal. We saw the band there, and well, for Stanford, we'll kind of switch gears into this football game. We're about 20 minutes away from kickoff, Stanford and UCLA. It'll start at 7:30, so about 50 minutes from kickoff, excuse me. And Kevin, for Stanford this season, it seems like all facets of the game, they've really gotten it done.
Yeah, they really have. Obviously, the number one guy coming into this season as far as the national media was concerned was Andrew Luck. Obviously, a Heisman Trophy front runner. But you got to look at everyone else. I mean, this is a great running team as well. You saw Stephon Taylor against Arizona, 7 yards per carry, 153 rushing yards. The receivers have been great. Of course, the tight ends, Levine Toilolo, 102-yard game against Arizona. Then you flip sides to the defensive side of the ball, one of the best run-stopping teams in the country, and a very veteran secondary as well with Delano Howell and Michael Thomas back there.
Yeah, Stephon had a career high in yards last time out against Arizona, but you have Tyler Gaffney, Anthony Wilkerson. You have so many different options. Jeremy Stewart, who was a starter last year before he got hurt. And for the Cardinal, it seems like, if one guy goes down, unfortunately, Kobe Fleener went down in the first quarter. Hopefully he'll be able to play today. But Levine Toilolo came up with some big catches. Zach Ertz for that tight end unit. It seems like for the first time in a long time, Stanford has depth at every position.
Yeah, certainly. Now, had the Shane Scove injury happen a couple of years ago, you might think, oh, well, Stanford has gone from being a
And David
Rose Bowl.
Shaw said that himself. Yeah. It's a good thing this didn't happen 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah. They go from maybe being a Rose Bowl contender 3-4 years ago to being out of the bowl picture completely. Now that you have guys like Vaughters, Lancaster, Tarpley, Bergen to fill in for Shane Scove, obviously Shane was the heart and soul of this defense, but you still have plenty of talent and plenty of depth.
Yeah, and I think that's such a tribute to guys like Coach Polin, who's a recruiting coordinator. Pep Hamilton is recruiting some top players from the South. David Shaw himself, we saw in our game time on Friday night, was not with the team in Tucson. He was out recruiting, and Stanford has brought in a top 25 class last year. They're bringing in another really good class, and it's enabled them to have speed in the secondary, which they've been lacking, and depth at every position.
Yeah,
you saw Brett Nottingham. He's looked great.
Oh, yeah. So the future is bright here at Stanford. Maybe a lot of people outside of the farm would think, well, after Andrew Luck is gone, so goes Stanford. But that's not going to be the case. David Shaw and company have done a great job of not only building a winning team this year, but a program for the future.
All right, so we mentioned the offense, we mentioned the defense, but what about the special teams? So what about a guy whose job that you don't know unless he messes up? And he hasn't messed up this year. He's been great. It's the snapper, Andrew Fowler, in our extra point.
Our first extra point of the season begins appropriately with Andrew Fowler, the Cardinal long snapper. Every other extra point on the field is going to begin with Andrew as well, the team's long snapper in his 6th year at playing college football, and just recently this week, granted a scholarship. How must you feel about that?
It's incredible, to be honest. It's such a good feeling inside, just being with the program for such a long time, and yeah, it's just a great gesture on behalf of Coach Shaw. I really appreciate it.
Number 45 on the roster, and right in the middle of all the special teams point situations, long snapping for field goals, extra points, and punts as well. How did you come to this particular niche in your football career?
Right, yeah, to be honest, in high school we had just an open tryout for a long snapper, and back then I played quarterback, so just decided maybe if I could throw it overhand, maybe I could throw it in between my legs, and won the job and started for 2 years. So that's how I came to become a long snapper.
You're in the very rare fraternity of 6th year college football players. Tell us a little bit about your journey. I know it began at Williams College back in Massachusetts, and tell us about the journey and how you came to be a 6th year senior.
Right, so initially out of high school I went to Williams College, which is a D3 liberal arts college in Massachusetts, and our mascot was the purple cow. I'll never forget that, the Fighting Eves. But so went there for a year and noticed that Coach Harbaugh went to Stanford, and
he had recruited you.
That's correct. Out of high school, he was recruiting me for the University of San Diego. So got in contact with Coach Harbaugh, arranged the transfer, and ever since then, the rest is history. So.
And how do you feel about working your way up to a point where your teammates and your coaching staff respect you so much that you're getting a chance to start and you're awarded this scholarship?
Right. It's a huge honor. And thankfully, it was tough being a backup for 3 years with Zach Nolan, but I learned a lot from him. He's an incredible long snapper, so I've definitely gained a lot from that.
And the special teams doing a little more turnover beyond that. Nate Whitaker is gone, and you have a new place kicker. Tell me a little bit about what you know from your inside perspective on the Cardinal special teams and the kicking unit particularly.
Right, yeah, so we have a really, really talented kicker in Jordan Williamson, young guy, most likely going to get the nod for field goals and PATs. And also, you mentioned Nate Whitaker, we have his brother on the team too as well. Incredible leg, Eric Whitaker. Then we have our punters. David Green, fantastic punter, as well as Aklinski. They've been battling it out for, 4 years now, so it's incredible to watch them.
Well, no one can blame you for liking to hang around college for like 6 years. Blutarski certainly did you one year better, but you're beyond your undergraduate years. Tell me a little bit about what you're studying and where you expect to go beyond Stanford.
Right, so I enrolled in a master's program for management science and engineering, so over the next couple of quarters I will be doing that. And then after college, I have actually recently signed with Bank of America Merrill Lynch, so I'll be working in New York.
All righty, if not the NFL.
Yeah, let's hope so, yeah.
We're back here at FanFest with a very special guest, Andrew Phillips, who was a member of last year's Stanford team. Thanks for joining us, Andrew.
Hey, no problem, my pleasure.
Now, we just talked about it. Coming here on game day for you, it has to be a little bit different for the first time. You don't have your helmet and pads. You've got your nice little hat right here. It's a little bit less stressful.
Absolutely, yeah. It's seeing all this energy and this excitement. It's a side of the game I haven't seen before. So this is a nice, way to break into. This will be my first game from the sidelines at Stanford Stadium where I'm not actually playing. So this will be a great thrill for me.
Now, going into a little bit more about football, obviously you were a great offensive lineman here, and that was one of the big questions coming into this season, with you gone, Derek Hall gone. But the guys so far look like they've been doing a bang-up job. What's been your take on the offensive line?
They have, and I tell this to everybody I've run into since I went to practice, but I was on the practice field on Thursday afternoon. You look at everybody and just they look developed, and it's amazing after last time I was around was in March, and it's clear that the work's been put in, and there's a confidence and a swagger about them that they had, but was growing when I left in March, and now that I'm back, it's to see that in action and see that going, it's a special thing. So I'm happy for him.
Now, Andrew, you mentioned the work that was put in. I think, from your class specifically, it was such a, unbelievable, almost Hollywood story how you came to Stanford. They won one game. You left as, a top 5 team. Yeah. What was the experience like to go through something like that?
Well, it was, the way I describe it to people, like a very bad B-list Disney movie, but that's about what it was. It was, we came in, won one game as freshmen, and we got together as a class and said, hey guys, this isn't how it's going to be. And we, set to work and got it going, and, it was a lot of pain, a lot of anguish at times, but we persevered and things came our way. We got some breaks, and before we knew it, we won 12 games and won a BCS game. It was just a great thrill.
Yeah, you and your teammates got Stanford to a 12-1 record last year and building a great foundation here on the farm. What are your hopes and goals not only for this season, this year's team, but going forward as a program?
Well, that the football aspect of this program will always be around, and this will continue to grow and be a special part of this program and this university and this area as a whole. Seeing all this and seeing all this excitement, this is a great thing. Because I can tell you there were games our freshman year where it was not, nearly as much, pandemonium and crazy people about to, unleash on UCLA. That wasn't how it was. And so this is a great and awesome thing to see all these people around here. I hope that this will just continue to grow and be a special part of this university, which it deserves to be.
Now, last season, we mentioned it's the culmination, everything that happened. As an alum now and watching this team, are you nervous when you watch the games?
It's definitely weird. Like the first Saturday I had where I wasn't actually playing, it was eerily similar to what my normal routine would be. I woke up and turned on College Game Day and sat there, and I got a little, heart was beating a little fast, and then I had to wake up and realize, okay, there's no game today. You can relax. It's fine. But the guys are doing great. Everybody, I'm so proud of John and Sammy and Dave and all the seniors who really taken the reins from where we left off, and really happy to see it go down today.
Now, kickoff is within the hour coming up against UCLA. Last year, you went down to the Rose Bowl, knocked off UCLA 35-0. Talk a little bit about what you remember in your preparation for that game about UCLA and some of the challenges that they could present the Cardinal tonight.
Well, UCLA is always an athletic team, and that's something we have to deal with. Whenever I've played UCLA, they've always had athletes. Whether it was skill guys, quarterbacks, whatever it was, they always had skill guys we had to, and fast, athletic guys we had to worry about. But the way the reason I'm excited to watch this game today is just, to see that fast athletic style go up against just good, hard, mean, nasty Cardinal football. I'm excited to see it go down.
All right, 3 quick ones. First, can you let the viewers know what you're up to these days?
I'm taking graduate courses at the University of Virginia in business. I graduated with a BA in Classics and Ancient History from here, and now I'm studying business at the McIntyre School of Commerce at UVA.
Okay, second question, expectations for this season. Are you thinking national championship?
Absolutely, no question. They'll go as far as 12 will take them, and 12 can take them all the way.
And the final question, before we let you go, David Shaw, a guy who you were very familiar with. He takes over for Jim Harbaugh. Everybody knows that. But some people who haven't, been the day-to-day for 4 years you were with Coach Shaw, what can you tell the audience about him?
If I had the pick, if I had Mr. Bowlesby's job and it was my job to pick Jim Harbaugh's successor, it would have been David Shaw. It would have been David Shaw 100 times over. And he's the greatest football mind that I've ever been around. He knows more about the game and more about how to apply it to life and how to be an educator and a teacher than anyone really that I've been around in my experience. He's just a great mentor and great man.
That was Andrew Phillips with us. Thanks so much, Andrew.
Yeah, thank you.
We got his Orange Bowl ring right here for Andrew Phillips. There we go.
Thank you.
So speaking of David Shaw, we had our weekly sit down with David Shaw, and this is what we had to say about the game with UCLA.
Coach, how did you best use your time during the bye week in terms of preparation and also probably time off?
The first thing we tried to do was make sure that our guys knew it was too early in the season to really back off. We had 3 really hard physical practices. We scrimmaged our younger guys, our non-travel team, to continue their progress and learn our schemes. We spent some time on UCLA. We spent a lot of time on us, correcting things that we haven't done well, experimenting on some new things, taking a look at some things. And then we give the guys a few days off, you know, to catch their breath and really get ready for the stretch run of the season.
In terms of going over your first 3 games, and without having to game plan for that particular week, for last weekend, what did you come up with that you felt needed improvement? Where do you want to see improvement over the next stretch of games?
Just the efficiency of both sides of the ball. You know, defensively we worked a lot on our different blitzes and our drops, and you know, our guys in their communication, especially with Shane being out, making sure that we got all the guys in the right spots doing the right things. That went very well. Offensively, once again, just getting back to our philosophy, making sure that all of our double teams are the way they need to be, and all of our communications. And we looked at a couple different schemes, some of which looked good, some of which didn't, but that's what you want during the bye week, get a chance to experiment with some things.
Is it fair to say the Arizona win was your best game so far? And if so, is this a little interruption in momentum?
It was our best game, I believe, but it's almost too early in the season to say that we've really disrupted anything. We've been trying to get better. We had a quick practice last night, which went pretty well. So we really think that we're getting ready to ramp up, and now we're trying to create momentum as opposed to losing any momentum we had before.
How much can the fact that school is in session, the students will be in the stands, it's a Saturday night game, contribute to, you know, momentum as you return home for Saturday?
I hope so. It should be an exciting environment. UCLA travels well, so they'll have their contingent there as well. So we're excited about the atmosphere being a night game, and I think our guys are going to come in fired up, ready to play.
After a wobbly start, this is a UCLA team that played its best game on the road at Oregon State last Saturday. What did you glean from watching any of that game, as you may have, versus a Bruins team that struggled against San Jose State, a common opponent?
Tell you what, the quarterback play has been very good. Richard Brehode is a good quarterback. He's made good decisions. He's thrown the ball accurately. He's gotten into the pistol offense and knows how to read it and pull the ball, and he'll get you a couple first downs with his legs. I think he's really evened out their offensive production.
And this is a UCLA team whose strength offensively is its running game. Derek Coleman and Jonathan Franklin are pretty accomplished backs that the conference knows well. Tell me a little bit about how you view this game and what you have to do in order to be successful against an offense that has 2 big backs.
Well, that's the thing, is we talked at the beginning of the year about stopping the run, and this is one of those teams that if you let them run it how they want to run it, you're going to have a long day. And they've shown when they get it rolling, it's pretty good. Texas had a tough time stopping them at times, and they made a late run against Texas, and they did a good job on the last 2 weeks, especially against Oregon State. Guys need to know where they're supposed to be. They need to know where their help is coming from, and we've got to get these running backs on the ground.
And without your leading tackler, Shane Scove, you need to see step-up performances from some other players. Discuss.
Oh, absolutely. Once again, as I said last week, A.J. Tarpley stepped in and played really well. Jarek Lancaster played really well as well. We'll play both of those guys. They know that we have high standards for that position. Shane has reminded them that if they're going to step in and play for him, they better play at a high level. But you know that we have a lot of confidence in those guys. They've been here for 2 years and 3 years respectively, and we think they're going to play very well. Always
an interesting twist, it seems, when Stanford and UCLA play, regardless of who may be ranked team and who's not. You have some experience with Rick Neuheisel coaching on the same staff in Baltimore. What is the X factor, do you suspect, for Saturday night?
Yeah, it's going to be an emotional atmosphere. They've played well at Stanford. They just have, and we've played well against them at times and not well against them at times. And so this is going to be an exciting environment. It's going to be the team that keeps its composure, the team that's able to run the ball the way that they want to run it, and play well on defense. And hopefully we can get some turnovers and create some other momentum other ways to really hopefully gain an advantage.
Finally, Coach Shaw, the first week where your players are in school session in a game week, how does your schedule change? What are the challenges of now taking on the extra load of classwork?
We really tried against Arizona to institute an in-season program so that the guys got used to the times. Last week being that their bye week was great because they did a lot of the pre-class stuff as far as getting acclimated. So this week, hopefully, we'll be able to plug right in. We know guys will be going to classes, and we just say, hey, you know, when we're here for this hour meeting, we're here for an hour. We had a 2-hour practice. You were locked in for a 2-hour practice, and then it's off back to being a regular student.
And do you feel like everybody's locked in, ready for Saturday night?
So far, so good.
Okay.
It's early in the week, but we'll see how it goes.
All right. Head coach David Shaw, thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
And that was David Shaw. I want to thank Coach Shaw for sitting down with the Cardinal Channel. Well, we're about 30 minutes from kickoff. Tim Swartz again here with Kevin Dana. And Kevin, you heard Coach Shaw's thoughts. Any of your thoughts before the UCLA game?
Well, I'm just excited to see some football here at the Farm. It's been a month since they've had their last home game against San Jose State. I just can't wait for kickoff. Looking forward to another Cardinal victory.
Stanford Stadium is going to be rocking. They ran out of student tickets. They are almost completely out of tickets everywhere. It's going to be a packed house there.
Oh, it's going to be a great atmosphere. The Red Zone student section tickets were gobbled up within a matter of hours, so you know everyone is jacked for this game.
Exactly. In fact, we were shooting something for the Cardinal Channel yesterday in the middle of the student fair, and people were running up to us. You guys have tickets?
Yeah, it's a hot commodity and expect it to be this way the rest of the season.
So we want to thank everybody that's watched us here at FanFest. We want to thank everybody at home. And a reminder, go to facebook.com, look up the Cardinal Channel, like us, follow us on youtube.com/Stanford Athletics. And that's how you can check out all the Cardinal Channel stuff.
Yeah, we got plenty of content up there for you, and we'll be back here next Saturday for the next home game.
So some thank yous to give out. We want to thank all of our guests who came on with us: Mari Inoue, Steph Byrne, Becky Drew, Caroline O'Connor, Rachel Williams, Andrew Phillips, all of them. We want to thank everybody behind the cameras, our executive producers, Bud Anderson and Kari Jones, who also was our director, everybody else who's helped out here with the Cardinal Channel. I'm Tim Swartz. Reminder, we will see you a week from today. The Stanford Cardinal take on Colorado. 3 p.m. is when our show will start for a 4:30 kickoff. On behalf of everybody here at the Cardinal Channel, we'll see you next time, and we'll leave you with a preview of our next show that'll be coming out on YouTube soon, The Program.
You're going to demand certain things from your players, and you have to outline expectations, and you have to hold them accountable to a standard.
Go Stanford!